And now, Deep Thoughts with Blossoming Sun and Jess Playan.
I wanted to lose weight, so I went to a gym. He didn't know what to do about it, though.
Why did you say it like that? He didn't know what to do about it, though. Did he just stare at you? Because it's a joke?
He just looked me straight in the eye. And he said, J-Dog? That's a terrible joke.
Oh. Well, hello. My name is Blossoming Sun, as I said before.
Right, this plan.
And today, we have Johnny. Johnny.
I'm still Johnny.
I'm still Johnny. Johnny, do you want us to call you I'm still Johnny or just Johnny?
Johnny's fine.
Okay, great. Good.
Johnny? Okay.
You didn't really have
the I'm still is implied.
I'm still is.
I mean, I'm always Johnny, so.
That should have been your
Why
name.
wasn't that your name? Yeah, I'm always Johnny. Why is it I'm still Johnny? Like somebody asked you that question multiple times.
It has been asked multiple times. Why I came up with it.
Oh.
So wait, what do you mean?
The whole story behind it.
Have people just asked you, are you still Johnny?
So, technically my name is John.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was my dad and grandfather's name. And growing up, everyone called me Johnny just as a way to distinguish who they were talking to.
Oh.
For people who hadn't seen me in a while asked me, do you still go by Johnny? And I say I'm still Johnny.
Oh. That makes sense.
I learned so much about you today. I'm so excited.
So, like, is it as the next person passes away, do you then pick up the mantle and you just shorten your name?
It isn't the Highlander.
What?
There can be only one.
Like, does your grandfather go by Joe, and then your dad go by John, and then you go by Johnny, and then, as you go up in the ranks, eventually you'll become Joe? Or no, it's just Johnny?
It's just always been Johnny for me, and they've always been John.
Interesting.
That's kind of how it is.
Huh. Very interesting.
Makes sense.
My mom was picking between two names when she gave birth to me. It was either Brittany or Victoria. Don't know why she didn't pick Victoria, but that's fine. It's all right.
I was going to be Abigail.
But Jessica. Oh. Those are very I feel like they're on the same tier of cuteness. Like Abigail and Jessica.
I don't think it would have been.
You don't like that idea? You don't want to be... See, with Abigail, you can be Gail or Abby. Or both. Like, you can be whatever you want.
I don't think Abby Playan would work as well.
I don't want to be called Nee. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... It can't work.
Oh, but I could have been to Abby or not to Abby. Damn it.
Wow.
Oh, well.
It's too late. Do you have a pun for your own name? I mean, other than your fake name?
I don't even understand that. What did you just ask me? I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay, I was going to just ask, do you have a pun for your name other than Jess Playan, which is your fake name?
Hot Jess? I don't know. That doesn't work.
Oh my God. I did not go where you went. I was...
The Jester. What up with that? That works. There you go.
That's good. God, I thought you were going to say hot jizz, and I was like, that's not, but you...
let's not talk about my stripper name, please, on the podcast. Johnny, what about you? Come up with a pun name. You hate puns. We should come up with a pun.
My name is not good for puns.
Jess
it can't be the John, because that just sounds like a toilet.
Exactly. That's like the only thing that
John
fits with my name.
Oh no. Come on. We got this.
Tell me.
Okay, let me think about it.
Okay, so today we're not actually talking about puns. We're going to come back to Jess, and she'll tell us her pun once she's decided. But today we're going to be talking about kind of like, well, I don't like to say diets because that's kind of what lifestyle changes are. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we brought Johnny on because Johnny and I have been doing the same lifestyle sort of food thing that he's been doing it for a lot longer than me. And I have a couple questions about it. But we've both been doing this thing called keto, and it's a sort of diet where you don't eat any carbs and any sugar, because carbs turn into sugar and everything. So we just eat protein and fat and fibrous carbs, which are different than regular carbs. And I don't know if Jess has ever tried like different diets, but my dad put my whole family on the Atkins diet a long time ago, but it didn't work because I just love bread too much. And I had my own like source of income. So I was like, fuck you, I'm going to Chick-fil-A. It's delicious. Oof. Oh my goodness. Did you come up with a pun yet? No.
John Tay's Inferno.
Take it.
That's great. That's wonderful. I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah. So
it's better than J-Dog.
Before we talk about keto, because I feel like that's going to be like the big part of this whole thing. Have you guys ever tried something that you just thought was fucking crazy? Or have you ever tried something that kind of worked but not really?
And we're not talking about my exes, right? We're just talking about diets.
Yeah, right. We just talked about the food that you eat, not the tools that you use. Hey.
But diet-wise, no. I mostly, if I do dieting, I stick to calorie counting.
That's pretty smart.
That's the only thing that really worked for me.
Yeah.
Or I've dabbled in intermittent fasting, but I typically give up pretty easily, depending on my moods.
Just give up. I feel like intermittent fasting, as soon as you're hungry and you've gotten past that, you've fasted. Like, that's enough.
Yeah. It's fast. It certainly goes by quickly. Like,
the amount of time between your meals, you're like, what? Where is the time gone? What even is? Oh, Lord. Johnny, did you try anything before you did keto?
Nothing specific, like a named diet or anything.
Right.
I tried to eat healthy, the traditional way, but nothing like a vegetarian diet, keto, or anything.
Yeah. So like I said, my dad tried to get us to do the Atkins diet, but like he was the only person that was overweight in my family because all of his kids, like me and my brothers, were very active and we were always outside. Like we did mixed martial arts together, and even after that, we, like, me and my middle brother were old enough to, like, have jobs. And so we were always, like, working, always on our feet. So he was the only one that was actually trying to lose weight. But I was like, this is a terrible, like, keto is different than Atkins because you don't really focus on protein. But I don't know if you guys know this. When you eat a lot of meat, and you're like doing this whole Atkins diet, when you start to eat too much protein and it takes up too much of your diet, you start to smell weird. It's like you smell
beefo.
Gross. It's yeah, like beefo, indeed. It's like you start to sweat differently too. Like your sweat smells different. It doesn't just smell like sweat. It smells gross. It smells disgusting. Like as if you were. Ugh. I don't even want to think about it because it's...
Isn't like meat sweats a thing?
Yeah, meat sweats I'm sure is definitely a thing. It's... No. But yeah, I would say outside of the Atkins thing, keto has definitely been like the best. And I feel good on it too. The only thing that sucks is when I want to go out to eat and it's really hard for me to find something on the menu at a specific place to eat that's keto. And it's like I have to ask for all the... I hate being difficult at restaurants. I hate it. That's the only thing. Like I can take my carbs for the day. So essentially with keto, you take your carbs and you try to stay below 50 grams of carbs a day. And that's net carbs. And we can kind of get into that later. But when you go to a restaurant, I hate having to ask, oh, can I have a lettuce wrap instead of like flour tortillas or whatever if I'm trying to do tacos? Or I hate asking if they can just replace the rice with something else. It's just, I feel, oh, I hate being difficult. I hate it. I just want to be able to ask for a meal and not have to have any substitutions. That's my only thing. I feel so guilty.
I've seen some restaurants where they'll have a low carb section on the menu now, which is nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything special to ask for it, but it is kind of weird to ask.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's it. Otherwise, I feel great.
Vegetarianism has become so prominent that you do see a lot of like veggie and low carb options on menus now.
Yeah, and there's
particularly at the restaurants I've heard.
There's like certain places where it's just like kind of naturally low carb, you know what I mean? And if you get a salad, it's typically going to be low carb anyway. The only thing that can really mess you up is if they put like candied pecans in it. I'm like, bitch, just give me regular pecans. They're fine. You don't need to, oh my God. You guys, one time I had this salad and they put it was a Caesar salad. So the only thing that I couldn't have in it was the croutons. They just put these 3 giant croutons in my salad and they were covered in sugar. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What did you do to the bread? I do not want a donut in my salad. I love donuts, but they don't belong in salad. That's not what I'm asking.
It sounds good, but definitely doesn't fit.
Yeah,
no.
It's terrible.
I don't really like sweet things in my salads to begin with. Like, I like savory salads.
So,
but then again, I don't really have good salads for myself. I'm like, hey, put some croutons, put some like blue cheese dressing. Like, it's just keep going. Just slather that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So Jess,
by the time I'm done, really.
Have you ever thought about doing a different diet rather than calorie counting?
I've thought about it, but predominantly the reason I don't do things like Atkins and keto is it requires you eat a lot of meat or more meat because you're cutting down on carbs and other stuff. And I can't do a lot of meat.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do boned meat, and I don't really like pork chops and things like that. They gross me out, so.
They're like, no. Not for me.
Just like a grilled chicken breast. If you get like a grilled chicken breast and like broccoli, I can't eat that. It weirds me out.
Grilled chicken?
I just feel real bad.
It grosses you out? Oh, so are you trying to become vegetarian, Jess? Is that what you're coming out on the podcast about?
Eventually, I would like to.
That would be cool.
That's one of my like life goals.
Honestly, you could
to eventually do it.
You could definitely still. I don't think you could be vegan and do.
Oh no, because cheese.
Right. Well, cheese is great, but also I think that it always depends on people and their, not just their lifestyle, but how their body breaks down. So this is what I found out. I was doing like some crazy research about people's bodies, and certain people break down protein better, certain people break down carbs better, and some people break down fats better. And I don't actually break down carbs very well at all, and it's because of the pH of your stomach. And it's from growing up depending on what you ate. And so, and I think it's partially genetic too. I don't know, because it's like your cholesterol levels and certain things are completely genetic. So I think it's a case-by-case basis on whether you can actually be vegan and still have a really healthy lifestyle and diet. Because certain people who go vegan, if their stomach doesn't digest certain things extremely well, then they have to take dietary supplements like vitamins and whatnot. And a lot of people think they can take vitamins, just like pop them in first thing in the morning. That's not true, my friends. I want to educate you right now. If you take your vitamins and you haven't eaten anything, the vitamins just go through you. You have to have food in order to be paired with the vitamins to be brought into your bloodstream so that you get them, so they get carried to your muscles and everything. Otherwise, they just go straight through you. A lot of people don't realize that. And they're like, oh, I take my B12 vitamins and everything. I'm like, bitch, are you eating with your vitamins? Because if you're not, you're fucking your life up. You're just buying really expensive things that you're not actually using. So there's your tidbit of advice today. Eat your vitamins with your food. Or eat your food and then eat your vitamins.
You make like a cake and then put all those Flintstones vitamins on the top of it. Like,
oh my god, just like
you can eat it.
Or like pretend they're sprinkles, like crush them up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like a little powder. Oh, take a donut instead of using powdered sugar. Crush up some Flintstones vitamins and just roll the donut in it and then eat it.
I have a very important question for both of you. Do you know what funnel cakes are?
Yeah.
Okay. What's you put on a funnel cake?
Powdered sugar.
All right, Johnny, what do you put on a funnel cake if you could have one?
Cinnamon and powdered sugar.
Okay. You're both okay. Joe is a terrible human being. He puts fucking chocolate syrup on that shit. No. Funnel cakes are the Lord's cake, and it is meant for powdered sugar only. And that is it.
It's basically like, if I want like a cinnamon thing, I'll get an elephant ear, because essentially they're the same type of fried dough.
Right.
So like elephant ears are just cinnamony goodness, and funnel cakes are powdered sugary goodness. I've never really wanted, like, I feel like if you're doing fried dough and you're putting chocolate syrup on it, you might as well just go and like
get a glazed donut,
some ice cream and other shit
just
on there.
Yeah.
No longer a funnel cake. You've just funneled it into a whole nother food category. Just
the Lord's food category. The heavenly. It's so good. I haven't had funnel cake in so many years. Oh my God.
I hope that no one is I think most of you, except for me, are dieting. So I don't know if we should all be talking about funnel cake. Like, because there's all out of the three of us. I think there's at this point one person in this group chat that can eat that, and that's me.
You know,
I talk about food so much that I can't have. It happens all the time.
I know, you're constantly talking about like, oh, they brought this thing and I can't have it. And I'm just like, eat the pizza, Johnny.
I think I'm pretty...
The one life.
I think I'm pretty lucky because I don't have to eat too many things. Like, what do I mean? I don't like what most people like. As in, there's a lot of very popular food that's really unhealthy, and I hate all of them. So, like, you just mentioned pizza. I fucking hate pizza. I don't like pizza. I don't like fried chicken. There's a lot. I don't really like anything fried other than fried potatoes. Like, potato chips or hash browns, fucking dope. But I don't enjoy... there's just so many things I just don't like. I just don't like fried food. And I don't know. It's weird. I was raised by a very white family. And I'm slowly coming out of the white person food category. But I still never enjoyed those sorts of things. I don't like hot sauce, y'all. I live in the South.
I love hot sauce.
I don't even like it. It's terrible. So for me, when I hear people talk about those things, or if I see someone bring something, it doesn't make me sad. People actually get upset with me. Like, my family and friends get upset with me because I don't want pizza. Because they're like, why do you have to be so difficult? And it's like, because it's really unhealthy for you. But also, I just don't enjoy it. And it gives me heartburn. And it's like, I shouldn't have to justify my food preferences because I'm more than happy to pay for my own food. And you guys can have whatever you want. So just leave me alone and don't shame me into eating pizza. Because I'm sure it's great. But it's also... Don't make me eat it. No, you can have all the pizza. I'm offering you the extra pizza. It's really like, instead of me eating it, you can have it. So, beyond...
That is one nice
I
thing.
feel like...
Go ahead, Johnny. What were you going to say?
Yeah.
That's one nice thing you mentioned earlier about it being more of like a lifestyle change, is that I don't really miss stuff like pizza anymore.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started out, I did. Now that it's been a couple of years,
Yeah.
I don't really miss stuff like that.
Did you get really bad?
Now,
Like,
when I'm done dieting, I'll go back. I just know.
Oh, I was going to ask you, did you have like really bad sugar cravings?
Early on, yeah, I definitely missed things that I was used to. Really anymore.
Okay. I feel like certain people can do certain diets. Like, okay, I would never do the Atkins diet again because honestly, Jess, I'm the same. Well, there's certain things that I don't mind eating. So I don't mind eating meat. It doesn't make me feel bad, but I do try to.
Yeah.
I do try to get it like sustainably caught or sustainably like cage-free chickens and cage-free eggs and things like that. Like I don't want the animals be treated inhumanely, but I will kill an animal and eat it. I could totally do that. I have no problem with that. It's because I've grown up in the South, and that's just like my family has done that. It's not like we went and hunted deer every year. We're not like that fanatics, but it's like I just understand that that's a thing, but I want to make sure that the animals are treated humanely. So for me, that's not a problem, but I also know, cutting down my meat intake is important because I don't want to have to rely or try to. I feel like Americans in general eat a lot of meat, like more than most people. And we eat like really large animals. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm thinking of India, and you know how they eat like a lot of their protein comes from insects, and we don't even eat those. It's crazy.
Does it bug you?
Yes, it does. It bugs me that we don't eat enough insects in our lives. So, but that's just how we were brought up, right? So it's fine. It's cool. I try to definitely portion down in the meat
I
department.
think it's a common thing for people to think that you eat a lot more meat on keto, which I think is a problem that people have. Really, you're not supposed to eat a ton of meat on keto either.
Right, yeah. Because what will happen is you want to focus on your fats and things like that, but you really don't want to eat too much meat because then that will put you into whatever the Atkins sort of cycle is. It's a slightly different cycle, but your body will start to burn your muscle instead of your fat. That's what will happen. Yeah. And so it's really not eating too much. Like, I get to eat a fucking lot of tofu. God, I love tofu so much. I love silky tofu. Yeah. Oh, my God. I love it.
Tofu's the best. Tofu. Like, I try to substitute stuff if possible.
There's
I love it.
This Korean barbecue place that Joe and I go to, and we do get to eat a lot of meat there. But it's all shaved and very thin, so you think you're eating a lot, but it's really not. And
yeah, it's like a gyro.
Yeah, it's like a gyro. And so you get it all shaved into these nice little rolls, and then you just put it on the grill. But they will bring you as much of their marinated tofu as you want. Oh my God. Okay, so the first time that I went there, I had 7 servings of their tofu. And I was like, bitch, you ate too much tofu. You need to calm down. But then I looked it up. And I did like calculations, and I found out each piece of tofu was only 1 carb. And I was like, bitch, I can have as much as I want. And so I went this past time, and I was like, okay, you guys, I'm only going to have 3 servings of tofu. I'm trying to cut back on my portions, trying to definitely. So like, instead of me counting calories, because I get really weird about detailed things, I'm a big picture person, I just say to myself, okay, how often do I really feel more full than I want to be? And if that's more than 50%, I will just cut down my servings by like 1/3, and I'll just start serving myself less food. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to cut my tofu needs in half. That was a lot of tofu I ate last time. So this time I went and I got 3 servings, and I put them out. I spread them out and gave myself time to feel a little bit more full, and it was great. And then this bitch, the manager, she's lovely and wonderful, and she came by and she was like, I see you've really been enjoying the tofu. Would you like me to bring you some more? And I was like, fuck, you offered it to me. I have to take it. I have to. I need it. And I was like, yes. Please. And I was very ashamed, but I ate it. It was delicious. So, like Johnny was saying, for keto, you eat mostly fats, and it's like good fats. So like nuts, avocados. Jess, do you like avocados?
No.
Jessica.
It's an avocado for me. Some things, like, I feel like guacamole on some things is okay, but avocados just by themselves are just...
Well, you don't eat an avocado by itself, Jessica. You eat it with other things.
Like, say a deli or something, and you'll get a salad, and they'll be like, here's this whole ass avocado that you can just eat. And I'm like, but it's just mushy green fruit. It's like a kiwi that's disappointed in itself. And I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. It's not very flavorful. It just, I don't know.
I love avocado.
I actually really didn't like them either when I started, but now I love them.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, I think it's probably an acquired taste. Like beer. Like,
definitely
there's
a texture thing to it too.
It's very much like Jess was saying, it's like mushy, but I like that texture. So I used to eat them just by themselves because I'm a fucking weird. I used to literally crack them open in half, slice them open, take the pit out, and then I would just sprinkle a little bit of salt and drizzle a little bit of lemon, and I'd scoop it out with a spoon and eat it. Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a child and I just like mushy things.
Have you tried mushy peas?
I love peas. Oh my god, split pea soup with ham in it. Oh my god. Ooh. The things
Like,
I don't
mushy
like
peas
are
are really
crunchy. I don't like crunchy textures, and I don't like thick stuff either. I don't like really thick custard. I don't like that. And yogurt, fucking ew, gross, disgusting. But outside of those, I'm great with textures. Everything else, I'm fine. If it's a little crunchy, I'll deal with it. But some things, no, don't do that to me. No.
Like, you're gonna think I'm just a human garbage disposal.
Do you love
'cause
yogurt?
I love, like, yogurt.
It's fine. You can love
Like,
yogurt.
when I'm dieting and stuff, I don't, like, it typically doesn't, fill me up much. But when I'm really, like, hardcore dieting, I'll get a bunch of yogurt, and I'll have, like, a little bit as, like...
What is your favorite flavor? Do you like flavored yogurt?
Yes.
So what's
I
your...
typically like Greek yogurt blended, and it's like banana cream pie or something. That's
What
my
the
favorite.
fuck? See, I tried those fucking dessert ones once because I was like, well, surely I fucking love dessert. This yogurt's gonna blow me out of the water. No, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's sour and gross. Sour cream is delicious. They're so close in proximity to each other in the world. How can one taste so delicious and the other be fucking disgusting? Like, how does that happen? Johnny, do you like yogurt? Don't forsake me, Johnny. Don't.
I don't really eat it anymore. I can't really do dairy, not for diet reasons, just for my body doesn't like it anymore.
So,
Wow.
what does...
Dairy where it's like goopy. Avocados are more creamy, I guess.
Goopy. I like
Yeah.
that one. So,
Creamy, like puddings are kind of in that goopy area where I can't really do that.
I do like pudding, but if it's a little bit thicker and it's like a custard, that's where I can't. It's such a razor thin line. It's so,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's so, and I also like Jell-O, but I don't know. Sometimes it's,
Yeah, I don't like Jell-O.
you like, no? It's for children. It's fine. I'm just a child. It's all right. So,
No, I think it's just that lack of flavor again. Like, I really like flavorful things, which is why my pants don't fit anymore.
I just bought new pants. They're fantastic. So, Johnny, I was going to ask you, did you start keto to lose weight primarily? Like, what were all the reasons for you deciding on keto versus something else?
So my background is very much like scientific and stuff like that. And when I first heard of keto, I loved the like diving into the science of it and why
Right.
overweight growing up, all throughout college and everything. I ate what I thought was healthy. I always, the things that you're told are more traditionally healthy.
Yeah.
And it didn't really matter. I still gained weight. I didn't for a while, and it just didn't seem to affect anything.
Yeah.
And then I kind of randomly stumbled upon keto, and
You
science
heard about
behind it.
keto a long time ago. Because I thought
I started in 2012.
Yeah.
It's been 7 years.
Oh, wow.
it's 7 years is a very long time.
It's a lot
'Cause
longer than I
I
remembered.
thought I knew about it before most people did. Because it seems like now. Okay, so I came about it like 4 years ago, or yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago. It's been, time is so relative to me, y'all, because I don't have a traditional job, and I just don't pay attention, and I just wake up each day now, and there's nothing for me. Like, I barely remember that today is Sunday. But for me, it's like been 4 or 5 years, and I thought that I was like, Joe and I were very much pioneers of the whole thing. So when I heard that you had been doing this for like 7 years, I was like, damn, Johnny's like the OG. He's the OG keto. The keto
definitely been a
Joe,
while.
if you will.
There was not nearly as much information back then.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. That's kind of crazy. That's really cool. So did you do it for things other than, does it help with anything other than weight loss for you? Because I know you have like hormone issues. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, like, how did you
Yeah.
stick to it for so long?
Well, I think for me, just knowing the science of it, like knowing what was going on in my body, helped me stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
something that I shouldn't, I know like the bad reactions that are going on, and so that kind of made it a lot easier. It was
Yeah, because you're
about
understanding what
missing
you're
and more
going
about
through.
what's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
cake, I just shouldn't have it. It's, well, if I eat that cake, what's going to happen in my stomach and my liver, and other stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of spooky.
That's actually really interesting. So you kind of focus on the science behind it all.
Yeah, it was less about the cravings and things like that to me, and more about specifics of the science.
So when you were first getting into it, did you focus a lot on learning about the science behind keto then and how it worked?
Yeah, that was the big thing for me, is what was keto and how did it work?
So how did you stumble onto it? Like were you just Googling one day?
It was completely by accident. By accident, I was browsing Reddit one day.
Oh my
I
God.
don't even remember where I was, what post I was on, and someone mentioned it, and I looked it up and just kind of like next 3 hours looked into it, and next couple weeks after that.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. So so once you stuck to it, how much did you lose the first year?
First year, probably about 50 pounds.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Oh my goodness.
That is a lot.
Yeah. I'm almost in Wonderland, which is a keto term, which means you're in the 100s. I'm almost there. So close. I'm very proud of myself.
I'm slowly working my way towards that.
Slowly, yeah. It's just, I think it's harder for guys because, especially, Johnny, you're so tall. Oh my God. I don't even know if I could picture you being like, oh man, you're so much taller. It's like for height, I don't know. Also, dudes.
Yeah, I'm taller and wider in general.
Yeah, and it's like for me,
measured, and I think
what? What were you gonna say?
If I was at 0% body fat, too unhealthy. But if I was, I'd still be like 180 pounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't even imagine because you're so tall.
I can't get like too low, but
yeah, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, so I'm slowly there. I'm slowly getting there. My goal is 160, and that's with muscle. So at this same height, when I was my smallest, because I was working 2 jobs and didn't have money for food, I was 128 pounds, which was really, really like a scary time in my life. But now my goal is 160 with muscle and looking like Gal Gadot. That's all I want in my life. I just want to look like Gal Gadot, be Gal Gadot, maybe play Wonder Woman one day in my life. It's fine. That's all I got.
I want to look like her too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you put Johnny's picture into Wonder Woman costume? We can make dreams happen on this podcast.
Oh. Jess, do you have like an ideal weight for yourself? Do you have an ideal weight? I have an ideal weight, but I don't know if even 160 is like what I should. Like that's just a goal I'm going for, but I don't remember what I looked like at that weight because it's been so long.
Yeah, I think for me, the last time I was looking, it was like 195 would be like
ideal.
I think.
Yeah.
So right around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be, oh man, it's so crazy. Weight is so crazy. I've noticed that my friend, she's been like, she works out 5 days a week, which is insanity. I don't know how she does it. Props to her. But she has muscle now, and I don't think she has hardly any body fat whatsoever because she's been eating exactly how she needs to. And she's like losing, when she stops working out, she immediately loses her muscles. Like they're just gone. I was like, God damn. So now I'm like, can I even keep up the muscle? Is it worth it? I don't know. So for me, I've realized with keto, I cannot do cardio. I can't. So I'm just going to go over like some quick basics. If you're interested in learning what keto is, the keto diet is called the keto diet because it puts you into a state of ketosis. It is where you primarily focus on fats, like I was saying earlier with nuts, avocados. What else is there, Johnny, that's like cheese, butter, oil?
Lots of like coconut oil, olive oil, things like that.
Yeah. And so you want to mostly be cooking with like olive oil or avocado oil or butter. And then you want to make sure that you have some cheese in maybe your salad or something. There's good nuts, you know. And then from there, you have smaller portions of protein and fibrous carbs. So the difference between regular carbohydrates and fibrous carbohydrates is fiber is it you can't dissolve it in your body. So it's insoluble. And it just goes straight through you, but it's like the mop of your digestive system. It like cleans you out. It makes you real nice. It makes you feel real good. And from that, what you can do is look at your veggies and see how much carbs are in them, and then you see how much fiber is in them, and you literally take the amount of carbs and you subtract the amount of fiber, because the fiber is counted within the carbs, but you can't digest those. And so that's kind of how you get, and then obviously meat doesn't have any carbs. It's all protein and fat. And so you take everything, you just count it up and say, all right, how many, I'm trying to keep, some people go under 25 grams of carbs. Do you do that, Johnny?
Yeah, I usually stick to under 20.
What is wrong with you? How do you even, what the fuck?
How do you even survive on a daily basis? Like, how do you not just waste away into the mist? Like, I don't...
I eat a lot, just not a lot of carbs.
You just eat lettuce? Just some iceberg lettuce?
Yeah, I'm just a rabbit.
I mean, is this just a stock photo of you that you sent? Like, is this not even you? You're actually just a rabbit.
Exactly.
That is not actually... Johnny is hiding his ears.
Yeah. Do you find you're hungry a lot of the time, or does it just eventually, like, your stomach shrinks a little bit, you don't really feel like you need extra? Like, you're just happy with the way you're at?
Do you know what happens, Jess? Oh my God. Can we talk about this for a second? So in keto, you stop getting hunger responses. Like, you can still get hunger pains every so often. Now with Johnny, I don't know, because if he stuck strictly to it for 7 years, I would imagine maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But for me, so what I learned is that carbs are the thing that tell you, I need food. And once all your carbs are gone, that's when your stomach is like, hey, I need food, bitch. Like, I'm hungry. I need carbs. But it's lying to you. It's lying to you because it's looking for carbs and nothing else. And I mean, protein helps, but if it's looking for carbs and you have none left and you're normally eating carbs, it's going to go and say, I need food. And so then you're going to give it carbs, but it's not digesting any of the fat that's already stored in your body, even though that's what that's there for. So your body is meant to store fat, but if you're not in keto, your body's not using that fat unless you start to intermittently fast. And so that's where you don't, once you go into keto, you don't get those hunger pains as often because your body is doing what it's supposed to and using the fat stores up, so you don't get as hungry. And I don't know if that's, if Johnny agrees with that. Johnny, what is your take on it?
I mean, I can go into like all the hormones and all that stuff.
Dude!
I don't know how detailed you want to get.
Blow our minds.
Especially for me, because I have like hormone issues, so things don't always work like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So I've kind of had to learn a little bit more.
Right.
At a high level, the
please do high
hunger.
Level. If you go too far in the details, I might understand certain things, but other things I'll be like, okay, yeah. And I'm just going to write things down to Google later.
Okay, I'll start one level back.
Okay.
If you remember, or if you know what is, where if you take drugs at first, you have an effect, but after a while you kind of get used to them.
Like a tolerance, sort of.
You need more of them.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
kind of like
overdoses. Is that
insulin too?
Yeah, and so it works the same way with hormones.
Right. Oh, really?
It finds the same reaction. Yeah, the drugs in your cells, and so do hormones.
Right.
And so you can build up a tolerance to hormones just like you can to drugs.
And the hormones are like what's helping you digest your food or giving you signals?
Both.
Right.
So for hunger, there's two hormones. There's ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, that makes you hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you feel full.
Oh, okay.
Me, leptin doesn't work.
Oh.
Full.
Okay.
So I kind of have to control how much I eat just externally, not by feel. I feel full after I eat too much. I don't really get that.
Oh, wow.
And with ghrelin, it's so when leptin goes up, you don't feel as hungry because you feel full.
Right.
And still be hungry.
Wow. So
they kind of work the same way in that leptin, if you have too much of it, you can get used to it and it doesn't work as well.
Oh, gotcha.
So you need more of it to feel full.
Yeah.
So it's kind of where if you're overweight, you need to eat more, but you're eating more and you're gaining more weight.
Yeah. Gotcha. So how does keto fix that for you?
So for that one specifically, keto doesn't help because it's kind of just
it's just something you have to kind of deal with. Yeah.
But it does help with insulin, kind of those hormones.
Yeah. Jess, I don't know.
Kind of the same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me. I was just going to say really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Diabetics, when they have like really high insulin levels and stuff and they need more and more of the... So essentially what happens is, like Johnny was saying, they build up the tolerance so they need more and more insulin. Insulin's so fucking expensive now. It's fucking crazy. It's insane. It's... oh my
definitely.
God. It's like... So there's actually been several people that have gone on to documentaries and like spoken out about this, where if you go on keto, being a diabetic, you actually end up, well, a lot of them, I don't know if it's all of them, but a lot of them actually don't even have to take insulin anymore. And it's because you're no longer eating carbs, which turn into sugar, and you're no longer eating sugar. So you have no response in your, like, you don't need insulin because you're not giving yourself any glycemic response. So you don't need to break those things down because you don't have them.
Because you're not taking them,
Exactly. So that's something that's a
fascinating
really big positive. And it can save you a lot of money now. Because, holy shit, insulin is so expensive. What the fuck is going on? Fix yourselves, American Medical Association. All right, Johnny, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of talked about it a bit with insulin resistance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have high, it's bad for you and you can eventually die. So your
for sure.
body releases insulin to bring it down.
Exactly.
Levels over time. Get resistant to it and you need more of it.
Yeah. And there is one thing that happens when you go into keto that you have to be aware of. So Johnny, I know Johnny, you do intermittent fasting sometimes?
I do intermittent fasting and then extended fasting.
What is extended fasting, you crazy person?
Isn't that where you just don't eat for like a week? Because it seems like I'll talk to you and you'll be just like, I haven't eaten in
24
days.
Oh, more than 24 hours? Okay. All right. I didn't know that. I thought that was intermittent fasting.
What triggers you to do an extended fast versus just an intermittent one? Is it when you've gained a lot or you're just not feeling well?
For me, it's more the hormone issues where I like intermittent fasting isn't enough for me.
Okay.
I mean, I still do, where I'll eat one meal a day or something like that, but help with my hormone issues.
Right.
That makes sense.
I do know for me. Okay, so this is what happens with me. The times when I fast, I'm like trying to. It's usually when I've eaten something that's upset my stomach, and your girl is not having a great time at the John. Not the Johnny, but the John. And
the Jonte's Inferno.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly how I would describe my butthole. The Jonte's Inferno. And I'm sorry that I brought both of those back to the potty. I just said potty. I've never said that in the 30 years.
And you've got a real potty mouth.
So for me, that's when I fast. Is I'm trying to put my stomach like back on track to not be upset anymore. And it's not even if my stomach feels bad. Like, even if I'm feeling okay, if my digestive system is like, ooh, and it's like I've gone to Taco Bell at 4 o'clock in the morning right before they close and I just asked for whatever they had left over, that is the kind of like problems that I'm dealing with. And I'll just not eat for a day. I'll just be like, I'm just going to have some water and some tea and I'll be okay for today. And that's it. That's all. And that's, I find that if I do that for the day, my stomach will be tip-top shape. It'll be great. So I recommend that for people if you tend to have, because I have a lot of digestive problems and I don't know why. And it seems to only have started to occur later in life. And so I'm trying to figure that shit out. It's terrible. But it started happening before keto. So probably in my mid-20s, it started, and then I was like, well, this is terrible. It's awful. People getting old, man.
Fasting has good effects for healing too. Like you said, when you get sick with the flu or something, you just don't feel like eating.
Mm-hmm.
Once you fast for a while, don't put anything in me. Just let me fight this off and do what I need to do.
Yeah, just have some tea, have some water. Keep yourself hydrated. Hydration is key.
Only hydrate.
Yeah, but for sure. Jess, have you had any weird questions about keto? Are you curious about something?
I was just basically wondering about the science behind it, which Johnny answered a lot of. That was my big thing.
Yeah, with the hormones
because
and
most
stuff.
of the time you hear people, I got into dieting because I want to lose weight, and this seemed to be popular, or this seemed like it would work for me.
I will also say
the fact that you approached it like
there's a really big positive, but also this is the thing I was going to mention earlier. So when you go into keto, you become an extreme lightweight. And so now I've started to save money because I don't need to buy alcohol as much because I have to limit myself. And that's why I started talking about the fasting thing, because there is this thing where if you decide to fast and there's going to be a celebration coming up and you're fasting up to that point, you really shouldn't drink alcohol until you've eaten a meal. And you definitely shouldn't be drinking several cocktails or several beers or anything like that until you've eaten, if you've been doing fasting while you're in keto. Because what will happen is something that also happens to diabetics. It is called ketoacidosis, and it is lethal, and you will die. Or you'll get very, very ill, but please don't do that. What happens is you're overloading your body with alcohol, and you have nothing in there. Johnny, can you explain this better? Can you explain ketoacidosis?
So basically, when you're in diet, it's called nutritional ketosis, and then there's diabetic ketoacidosis. You're talking about.
Yeah.
It's similar in that your body's making ketones for energy.
Yes, ketones.
Instead of, and ketones are acidic in your blood, and so if you have actually damage your organ from being too acidic. Is that it's basically that you're producing them way faster than you're using them. Damage your organs eventually die.
For sure.
Yeah, because you can get too many in your blood and your urine and everything, and your body just
and that's what happens
freaks out,
dissolving itself.
Like
it's going into shock
yourself. Oh God. So I have since we started doing keto, and I've been like really trying to, instead of counting calories, I've just been cutting down my portions. Each of my meals are slightly smaller each time. I've also cut down the amount of drinks that I make for myself, or the amount of drinks that I have in a day. So I allow myself 2 drinks a day, even on days of celebration, because I've found out not last year, but the year before when I was doing keto, my brother offered to make me 3 cocktails, and I don't remember anything after the second cocktail. Like, I started drinking the second cocktail and I blacked out. And so keto will make you an extreme lightweight, which is great because then you don't have to drink as much, which means you don't have to buy as much. But it's also, you got to just be aware that you don't want your ketones to turn your blood into acid and dissolve your own body. Don't do that. That's bad. Which I thought that was interesting. So there you go, Jess. You can go into keto, just eat like a rabbit. You won't have to eat, rabbits don't eat other animals. It'll be fine. True. You'll be all right.
I do. There's a lot of days during the week where I don't eat any meat.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't eaten any meat yet today, and I had a quiche. All right, I made a quiche. It was delicious. It has rosemary, cream cheese, eggs. If you wanted to put a protein in it, you could put some fried tofu in there, bitch. Mix some Asian with some French. Ooh, see what they make together. So, but I will say,
it's a great protein if you're not eating meat.
What if you're not eating meat? Tofu's so good. Yeah, you can put some spinach in there.
Marinated tofu is what I really like.
Oh, I've had tea marinated tofu. That shit is delicious. But there's a lot of Asian restaurants that have like, okay, so like for instance, there's Japanese has very friendly sort of food because if you go to hibachi, you can have the carrots, you can have the mushrooms, you can have the steak, or you can have chicken, whatever you kind of want. And you just don't eat the rice, and that's it. And you're great. But they give you so much food. You can, oh my God, they give you so much food. And then beyond that, any sashimi that you want to eat from one of those places is also, completely keto. And then for hot pot and Korean barbecue, those places are both keto as long as you stay away from the rice. And that the Korean barbecue place that we go to, they actually offer you lettuce wraps immediately. Like that comes with the meat that you first order. So it's really great. And then they have the amazing tofu. They have so many things. They have like pickled daikon. They have kimchi. They have cabbage. It's just like, there's a lot of places that are very keto. It's just a lot of other places are not. In the South, do you know, all they do is serve you cornbread. And it's like, bitch, I can't have that, but I want it. I just want it. That's all.
Yeah.
And funnel cake. Oh, good Lord. So, I'm trying to think.
Brought it full circle.
I just want funnel cake. I'm trying to think if there's any last
really things. A cry for help with funnel cake.
I just really want. You know what? I will say, when I first started dealing with cravings, I used to not have them, but now I've been getting cravings sometimes for sweetness. Thankfully, before I talk about cravings, Johnny, do you really think there's a difference between doing less than 20 grams of carbs a day versus less than 50?
Not really. I think the only thing, or the major thing that's important is you are in ketosis.
Yeah.
On the person, as long as you're eating less than whatever that number is for you, then it's good.
Yeah. There is a keto calculator, and I did see that it does just give you like your macros change. Macros are like your individual amounts of grams for each thing. But for me, it was saying that it's completely fine if I want to do less than 50 grams of carbs. And I'm usually between 5 and 10 under that. I did read that sometimes going under 25 grams can allow you to drop a little bit of extra weight for a week or two, but it's not going to over time just drastically increase your weight loss. So,
right. Yeah. As long as you're in ketosis, that's the point that matters.
Yeah.
Specific number at that point.
There's also like keto strips, but those are kind of like you pee on them and they tell you how many ketones you have in your body. But if you're doing that at certain times of the day and you've not eaten for a while, it's obviously going to be a higher number than if you've eaten. So, what was the other thing I was going to say? There was one other thing that I wanted to mention about keto. The cravings. The nice thing lately is that people have been much more... See, diabetic shit is awesome it's like always going to be keto because they're trying to give you no sugar and they're trying to give you very few carbs so you don't have an insulin response. So like with Johnny, when he was trying to do this 7 years ago, there was nothing like this. There might have been sometimes, like, I don't know how long ago gluten-free was a thing, but that slowly started to happen, which gave us almond flour and coconut flour, which was really nice. And that's very keto friendly. But now we have so many different sugars. Like we used to just have stevia and that tastes like shit. And now we have a bajillion different things. We have monk fruit sweetener. There's some shit in there that I don't even know what it is. I can't even pronounce it. It's just amazing. And now with the cravings, if I want something sweet, I can literally make something that's like keto chocolate chip cookies with coconut flour, and they taste almost exactly like regular chocolate chip cookies. It's amazing. I was like, God damn, this is great. I was like, what
that is
what
really
a
great.
life to live, you know? It's just great. It's fantastic. So,
Well, is there anything that you want to specifically share, Johnny, about keto that you think people should know about, or?
yeah. Is there anything you don't know? Like
The other thing that I found early on, inflammation.
Inflammation?
Yeah. The inflammation causes a lot of known issues or unexpected issues with people.
Really?
Autoimmune diseases,
Oh, yeah.
extreme depression and stuff like that. And caused some of my issues, or if that was unrelated, but I know reduce that in your body based on what you eat and also your stress levels and things like that.
Oh, for sure.
It can help with unrelated things and just like a general like feeling better, not having that fatigue, like that.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
There's also are you talking about like in particular, are you talking about like gluten, or is there other things that can cause inflammation? I know that gluten is technically like wheat is a natural inflammatory.
Right, and so is like just pure sugars as well.
Oh, really? What the
There are other things like smoking causes inflammation, stuff like that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Basically anything that causes like extreme stress causes inflammation.
Huh. Interesting.
And inflammation can, like a lot of autoimmune diseases are hereditary and genetic,
Yeah.
but it makes them worse. And the weird thing is really diagnosed to like, I think they said an average before you can really tell.
Yeah.
And like your body's inflamed, causing these symptoms
Yeah.
later that they can actually diagnose.
And everyone thinks it's
So that's
lupus.
kind of everyone thinks it's lupus except Dr. House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so a lot of times like your body's inflamed and eventually leading to these diseases, but you don't know it until it's too late, and they have to
yeah.
diagnose it kind of too late.
Yeah. And then it's like, the damage has been done. Sucks to be you.
So like with Addison's disease, you have to have like, I think it's 90% of your adrenal glands have to be destroyed before they can.
Oh my God. 90%?
The whole time. Yeah, and so like it takes many, many years to get that far.
Right.
Diagnose you until then, but you still have all the symptoms and you're still doing damage to yourself if you're inflamed.
Holy cow.
That's so fucking crazy.
So,
Oh my God. That's really insane. Yeah.
Definitely.
I will say, if people are interested in keto and they want to learn more, there's this really great documentary on Netflix called The Magic Pill. And the thing, it's not, I don't actually care about how do I put this? I don't really care about the personal stories that they share, because I do sincerely believe that everything comes down to a case-by-case basis. So I don't think that keto is for everyone. I think it will help a lot of people. But what I like about The Magic Pill is the documentary explains why are we having this sort of like, why is heart disease becoming the number one killer? And they go in to explain, like, we're fighting quote unquote diseases that are not actual diseases caused by an outside source, but by the fact that we're not taking care of ourselves correctly. And I like the way that they illustrate that and explain that in the terms that they use, because it just makes so much sense, because it's just dietary things that we need to understand better. And it's almost like we didn't actually fucking know what we were doing in the early 1900s. And we just pretended that we knew what we were doing. And like a lot of scientists were pretending that they knew what they were talking about. And they thought they knew how our bodies worked. And they actually had no fucking clue. So that's great. That's really nice. But hopefully we get back on track.
The old food pyramids and stuff like that.
Yeah, the food pyramid, instead of having... Well, the food plate's still better, but not great. And... there's a lot of stuff that I think we still need to improve on, but I definitely think that keto is making more and more people aware. And so I will say, remember, you got to stay hydrated when you go on to keto. You should always be hydrated, but you need extra things, and just look into those things if you plan on going on keto. Just look into the extra things that you have to do, and it's not just changing your diet, but also changing your habits. So.
What were you going to say, John?
And even if you don't, even if you don't end up going on keto, even if it's not right for you, there's things you can learn from it. Just added sugars from soda.
Yeah.
And don't use the super processed vegetable oils and soybean oils.
Yeah, for sure.
Olive oil. Just things that are better for you than diet.
For sure.
Yeah, like anything. If it doesn't work out, it's a learning experience.
Right.
I will say, Jess, if you're ever interested in doing keto, your Bud Lights are very low carb. I'm still...
Heck yeah. They're low price-wise, too.
We're not sponsored by Budweiser, by the way. This is not a sponsored podcast.
But if they want to drop that down from $2 to $0, I'm willing to discuss.
Oh. Well, thank you, Johnny, for talking with us.
Thanks so much, Johnny. It's been fascinating.
It was very informative, and I learned things today. I didn't know that sugar was a natural inflammatory. That shit's crazy. And I didn't know you had fucking... How can you say 90% of your adrenal glands have to be just fucking obliterated for you to be diagnosed with a disease? That shit's insane. What?
Way with MS, you have to have 2 different parts of your nervous system destroyed, and they have to be at 2 different times before they can officially diagnose.
What the fuck?
These can't be diagnosed until that happens.
Oh my god.
It's such a weird system.
Wow.
It's so weird. It really, really is. It really is. But thank you for being on with us. Jess,
thanks.
Take us out with a joke so I feel better about my life. Just kidding.
Take us out with a joke?
I'm just kidding.
I love organizing things in a gym, because no matter how I do it, it always works out.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, thank you. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.